Well, we sat for little over 2 hours before we got this load. We got a pickup in Vidor, Texas, which is about, I don't know, 60 miles away. And we're going to Carrollton, Texas, which is the Dallas suburb area. Really only about 300 total miles. Got to be there tomorrow. Not a big deal. No tarp, so that'll be easy. And we should be able to get pretty far today and shut down somewhere. I'm gonna put in all the numbers and we'll get rolling. Well, it's Tuesday morning. We got to deliver this today. I really was hoping to have some hours to run last night. That place was slow. I've never picked up there before. Originally, our appointment was 10 o'clock this morning, but once they got me loaded last night, I only had about 40 minutes and I wasn't going anywhere. They had a little dirt spot out there, parked, went to bed, got up this morning about 5 o'clock and took off. We'll probably be there sometime between 11:30 noon. I put my time in for noon, so we'll see. All right, we made it to the consignee. So there's that Melton driver right there in front of me to get unloaded. And then, I don't know the whole routine here. I've never been here before. But, so these are called Slinkies is what they call the term. It's called spools of wire. Anyway, what you do is, if you look at it, all of you pull the spools in to the middle. So if you look at the front ones, I've got my straps pulling in this way, and if you look at the back ones, I got them pulling in this way. And the way you do it is you throw your strap through there, then through here, and then back there and tie it that way. So that's one. So if you notice, all of my front ones are hooked on this side, and all my back ones are hooked on the other side. And the reason why is it just makes it easier for you, right? So throw it through, throw it through, throw it through, throw it through type of thing, and it's a lot quicker. Instead of trying to do one on one side, one on the other side, and thinking about it, you just throw them in there, and it makes it a lot quicker and a lot easier. But anyway, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get all of those off. We'll leave 2 straps on. So when you get loaded, you put a front strap on and you put a back strap on. So hold them down. So we'll leave those 2 on and take the middle ones out. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Trying to keep my straps from getting muddy and wet. It's a flood here. This place is going to be crazy. This is so tight. But basically that Melton guy right there backing up has to back up to that yellow pole right in front of that hydrant and get unloaded. So he had to drive onto a scale. You got to do your loaded weight, and then he's got to back up into there. And then when he gets unloaded, he's got to drive back onto the scale and get his empty weight. And then he's got to get out of here. And there's no, this is a one-way, so it's a dead end. Basically where that truck is with his lights blinking, somehow you got to make a U-turn out there after he gets on the scale and drive past me, basically. And then I get to do the same thing. We've been here, how long have we been here? We've been here 52 minutes waiting because there's dry vans getting loaded and unloaded as well. This guy right here that's empty in front of us, he had to get on the scale and then get off the scale. There's another flatbed back in there getting loaded, and that guy will get in there and get loaded. So the only person I have to wait for is that Melton guy that's gonna get unloaded. Once he gets loaded, unloaded, and out of the way, then I can do the exact same thing he did. So we're just waiting for our turn. This part of the video needed a lot of explanation, and I didn't do a very good explaining nor talking when this all went down. So what you're hearing is me talking in the future, explaining all this video. It is now close to 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm still have not been unloaded, but I've moved up to the spot where you saw the empty flatbed. And to my left, off screen, is that first Melton driver who was going to get unloaded, and he still has not been unloaded. And since then, if you look up there, there's a red truck backed up. He's number 3 to get unloaded. The truck directly in front of me is number 6 to get unloaded, and in front of him is a Melton truck facing him nose to nose. He's number 4 to get unloaded. And behind me is number 5, another Melton driver to get unloaded. Why they took this long, I have no idea. But all of the dry vans and the 3 flatbeds that had to get loaded all got loaded. And this white flatbed that you see out here in front, he's the last one to get loaded, and he just went over the scale to get his loaded weight. And when he made his turn, he got his drive stuck in a big puddle, a big mud hole. He is currently stuck right there. If you look at his truck, it's tilted down. He's sitting in a mud hole, and you can't see it right now, but behind him, next to the white building, is a big forklift. And what they're about to do is push him out. Now, before the forklift showed up, the guy in the white truck got out and talked to the Melton driver, and I assumed, I can't see, from my position, just like what you see, I can't see his truck back there. So what I assumed happened, because that's what he should have done, is the white truck driver talked to the Melton driver, because I saw them both standing in the street, and I'm sure what he was telling him was like, hey, can you back up back so that I can make this turn? Because this telephone pole is really in the way as well, and there's a blue trash can right there that you can't see. I assumed that the Melton guy backed up, because that's what he should have done. So I'm just watching this, and the forklift is there now trying to figure out how to get him out of that mud hole. And I'll speed it up a little bit. And so now here he goes. He's getting there, and there he goes. He pushes him out. So everything should be fine right at this moment. Again, I don't see the Melton driver there. I assumed he had backed up. But as it turns out, the Melton guy did not move. So this guy decides that he's going to have to cut it sharper, so he backs up some more. And when he does that, his trailer axles are going to drop in that hole. And it doesn't, right there, when you look at it right there, you can't really, it doesn't look that bad, but in the camera, it does not look that bad. But it looked, the Melton driver had not moved. So I got out of my truck, because if you look at that thing, it is doing all kind of scary things. So I get out, and this is when I realize, right here is when I realize that Melton driver is still sitting there. So I tell him, don't move, and I'm telling the Melton driver, you got to move backwards, because there's plenty of room behind him to go backwards. And when I get up to talk to him, he tells me he doesn't want to move. And I ask him, why don't you want to move? He's like, because I'm afraid I'm going to get stuck in the mud back there. Well, there's concrete back there, and yeah, there's some mud, and yeah, his trailer is going to get in some mud, but it's nothing compared to what this white truck driver's doing. Going through, and you can see him right here. He's just disgusted right here. I really felt bad for him. So I told the Melton driver, I said, listen, you've got to move back in order to help this guy. Nobody can get out of here until you move back anyway. You're not going to get stuck. Turns out he only had 3 months of flatbed experience, and he was scared. I get it. But I don't know why these two didn't discuss the situation, and the driver for the white truck explain it better or what, I don't know. But anyway, I finally convinced him to go backwards, to drive backwards, and then the flatbed, he gets back in, and he's able to get around at that point. And so he gets around and luckily his load, you can see as he drives by my truck, his load is not secured. So I told that Melton driver, I said, listen, sometimes you've got to assess a situation, and the reality is that you needed to back up. I don't even know why you were in that spot to begin with. And then he told me, he goes, well, I'm not the issue, the hole is the issue. And I said, I get that the hole's the issue, but there's nothing I can do to fix the hole. The only thing that can change the situation is you moving backwards. So he eventually moved backwards, and at that point, this company decided, okay, we're going to unload all these guys. And they literally started unloading that truck next to me. Then I backed in, they unloaded me. They unloaded that red truck and that Melton guy back there right where they were at. And this guy left. He wasn't there. He just parked his truck and left. I don't know where he went. And then the Melton guy behind me, I get on the scale and go around that thing and get unloaded. But it was probably the most unsafest place I've been to go to a shipper or consignee. I know that nobody's going to do anything, but that consignee really